Hello, hello, and welcome in to all of our viewers here on Zaleski Sports for tonight's Northeastern Conference girls basketball matchup between the hosting Waupaca Comets and the Denmark Vikings. My name is Gunnar Zippert. I'll be calling the action for you tonight. I'm joined by Gus Olson, who is manning production. The Vikings of Denmark come into Waupaca tonight with a record of 4-3. The theme of their season has been blowout wins and very close losses. Of their 4 wins, one of them was by 7, but the other 3, the margin of victory over 45 points per game. And of all their 3 losses, they're losing by either 4 or 5 every time out, including to Freedom in their most recent game, who's on top of the Northeastern Conference. They only fell by 4 points. Head coach Garrett Vanderloop facing his dad in the coaching matchup against the Freedom Irish in that one. Other close losses for them to Kewanee by 4 and Cedar Grove, Belgium by 5. So this Denmark team playing very well to start the season, even if their record is just at 4-3. They're 1-1 in Northeastern Conference play. They're tied with a bunch of teams for third place. There's 2 teams on top at 2-0, 6 teams in the middle at 1-1, and 2 teams at 0-2. One of those 2 teams, the Waupaca Comets, they are 0-2 in Northeastern play, 0-4 overall. I did not find a score for their game last night in Wautoma. It was not on wisports.net, so it's possible they're either 1-4 or 0-5, but it's also possible that game might have been canceled. Unsure of that. Tonight, the Comets will be coached by Rocky Mondello, an assistant coach, typically, as head coach Rob Shearer is the AD here at Waupaca High School, and there's a school board meeting tonight, so a little bit unfortunate scheduling there for head coach Shearer, but Mondello will be filling in. Denmark took the JV game earlier, and we're just about ready for the national anthem and tip-off here. In the meetings between these 2 teams last year, Denmark got the victory on November 30th, 2023. They won here at Waupaca 57-46. And earlier this calendar year, January 18th, in Denmark, the Vikings took the win 49-42. These rosters look essentially the same from last year. Denmark not losing any of their contributors to graduation from last season's team, and Waupaca only losing 1 primary contributor, in Macy Studzinski, who averaged 7 points. She graduated and is no longer on the team. So far in this young season, Waupaca 0-4, trying to figure it out here at home tonight, and they'll do so without their typical head coach, but Coach Mondello filling in against Garrett Vanderloop of Denmark. Garrett Vanderloop in his 3rd season of coaching. Head coach Rob Shearer is in his 1st year. And as the final buzzer sounds there for pregame, we'll get ready for the national anthem and starting lineups. as pregame announcements on the video board are happening right now. We'll keep it here as we get ready for the starting lineups. So far in the year, Denmark 4-3, 1-1 in Northeastern Conference play. The two teams at the top of the conference at 2-0, Freedom, who defeated Denmark by 4 points last week, as well as Fox Valley Lutheran at 2-0 as well. In the middle, Denmark at 1-1, tied with Marinette, Luxembourg Casco, Oconto Falls, Wrightstown, and Clintonville. And bringing up the rear of the conference, 0-2 at Waupaca and Little Chute. And here we go with the starting lineups. Denmark, a Division III team, enrollment at their high school, 486. And first starter for them, Annie Van Noy, a senior forward. Number 12, Paige Sellner, a junior at 5'9". Paige Vogel, another junior, 5'9", number 14. Number 21, the top scorer on the team, Kiara Mikolajczyk, a junior at 5'7". And finally, a sophomore, Allie Van Vonderen at 5'7". A relatively young team for Denmark, just one senior in the starting lineups, a bunch of juniors, and of course the one sophomore rounding it out. On the roster, they've got 3 seniors, 4. And for the Comets, number 1, Haley Bichard, their top scorer, a junior guard. Ava Whittle, their top rebounder, a junior at 5'10". Number 12, Taylor Kling, a junior, 5'7". And number 30, Josie Nickel, a 5'7" senior, center. And finally, Rosalind Wiemeyer, a 5'2" junior, or 5'2" senior, pardon me. So a bit of an older lineup for the Comets, but all juniors and seniors in the starting lineup for both squads here tonight. And on the tip, it'll be Wiemeyer, for the Comets, and I believe trying to get a number there. Number 3 for Denmark was Van Noy, losing the tip to Wiemeyer, and the Comets will have possession first. Whittle on the right wing, guarded by Van Vonderen, uses her dribble to the three-point line, looking for her teammate to help her out. It'll be Bichard to man the offense here. Bichard, the top scorer on this Comet team, one of the top scorers, I should say, along with Wiemeyer. Here's Whittle, picks up her dribble, has to give it back to Bichard on the right wing. Bichard swings it over. Here's Taylor Kling. Man defense early here for the Vikings. Whittle at the top of the key as the Comets are trying to figure out this Viking defense here early, taking their time. Not able to get anything going inside. Kling gives it up to Nickel. Nickel will drive into the lane, puts up a shot. No foul, and the rebound for Whittle blocked. She'll kick it out to Bichard. Bichard, deep 3 is good. Haley Bichard puts the Comets on top here 3-0 after a couple of contested shots inside for Nickel and Whittle. A nice find from Whittle, kicking it out to her teammate Bichard for the 3. And now it's our first chance to see the Vikings on offense. They swing it around the outside. It's Mikolajczyk for 3, no good. The rebound for Wiemeyer. And I believe Wisports had Wiemeyer's height wrong. I've got 5'2". She does not look that short. Grabs the rebound, and she's one of the team's leading rebounders behind Ava Whittle. Here's Bichard, same spot, a little closer this time, no good. And the rebound for Kling, kicked out, and they rotate it back up to Bichard. Wiemeyer will drive left, finds some open space in the lane, and it's an early 5-0 lead for the Comets. Off the basket there for Rosalind Wiemeyer. In transition, here come the Vikings. They'll slow things down. Back up top to Allie Van Vonderen, the sophomore. They swing it, now work it into the high post. Driving with the left hand, it's Sellner with the bucket to break the ice for the Denmark squad. 5-2 early, and a little bit of pressure put on Bichard here by Van Vonderen. Bichard gives it up to Whittle. They got to get it across half court before the 10-second violation. Whittle stops and eventually does cross half court and draws a foul. First foul of the game will go against the Vikings. It'll be on number 21, Kiara Mikolajczyk, their leading scorer. Just a junior, but she was a first-team all-conference player last year as a sophomore. Currently on the young season, Mikolajczyk averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Running the offense at the top of the key, Whittle gives it to Nickel. Nickel was the first person to take a shot for the Comets. Here's her first three-pointer, no good. But she was open, not a bad choice there for her. In transition, here come the Vikings. Van Noy pushing the pace, kicks it from the corner, no good from Van Vonderen. Offensive rebound for the Vikings, and finishing Selner off the feed from Mikolajczyk. Full court press here, put on by Denmark. Nice pass from Bichard to Whittle. They've got numbers in transition to Nickel. Great job by the Comets breaking down the full court press, and Nickel with her first basket of the game makes it 7-4 in favor of the Comets. Denmark in transition on their last possession, able to get a bucket off of an offensive rebound from Mikolajczyk, and they'll slow things down here in the half-court offense. In the corners, Mikolajczyk pass deflected by Ava Whittle and out of bounds, so it'll stay with Denmark. Denmark, a Division III school, Waupaca Division II, with an enrollment of 644, over 150 more students enrolled here at Waupaca. So these teams will not meet in the playoffs. Nice find from Van Noy down into Selner, the only player with points on the board for Denmark, but she can't get it to go. Back the other way come the Comets with an early lead here. 7-4. We're just about to hit the 4 minutes played mark. Not a lot of whistles in this one, only the one foul. Rosalind Wiemeyer swings it over to Bichard, the top 2 scorers on the Comet offense. Nice lob pass into Whittle, but it's deflected. Good defense from Denmark. Bichard cleans it up, however, and she'll take advantage as no one closed in on the junior guard. 9-4 the score in favor of the Comets, and the Waupaca doing a nice job showing up here early without their head coach. Again, assistant coach Rocky Mondello filling in tonight on the sidelines. And you wonder, Coach Vanderloop with his team down 5 points here, perhaps thinking about using a timeout should the lead expand. Van Vonderen in the corner gives it up to Van Noy. Van Noy is senior, Van Vonderen a sophomore, and the other 3 are juniors for the starting lineup. And that'll be a foul on Taylor Kling of Waupaca, their first. 1 foul for each team now. Almost had the steal there, did Kling, but a little too much contact and poked the ball too far away from herself to maintain control of the steal. Inbound on the side from Mikolajczyk to Van Vonderen. Last season, Denmark going 15-11. They were 11-7 in conference play, finishing 4th overall. They'll work it to the right wing, and now looking for a lob pass inside was Selner. It's deflected out of bounds. It'll stick with the Vikings. Selner was looking for Paige Vogel inside. And a long possession here for the Vikings in which they have not registered a shot yet. A couple of balls going out of bounds, extending this, and we'll get a third as Josie Nickel jumps in front of that pass, does a nice job to deflect it. And we'll have a third inbound in a row for the Denmark squad. Yet to see a sub for either team. And we'll have I believe a warning has been issued here on the Comets, I'm assuming. No official foul called, though, and I don't believe it was Coach Mondello who was warned. It was a Comet player. And setting up the offense is Van Noy. She'll drive, give it up to Van Vonderen. The sophomore goes baseline. Nice pass all the way to the other side. Now driving in is Van Vonderen. Pardon me, that nice pass was from Mikolajczyk, and Van Vonderen with the finish to make it a 3-point game. And now looks to be a 2-3 zone from the Vikings here on defense. Wiemeyer inside, draws the foul. It's going to go against Van Vonderen, her first. Underneath the basket, inbounding, it'll be Ava Whittle. 9-6 in favor of the home team here. Whittle gets it to Bichard. Bichard going baseline. Floater drops in. A little bit of an awkward shot there off of 2 feet from Bichard, but she makes it work, and she's got 7 to lead all scorers here. It's 11-6 in favor of the Comets. Van Vonderen swings it over. Someone from the bench for the Comets telling their team to watch the skip passes. And they go inside, kick out. Here's Van Noy driving baseline. Nickel helping out Kling with the defense there. Ball rotation back up to Mikolajczyk. Mikolajczyk out to Van Vonderen. Nice find. Three's going to be no good. Kling and Van Noy fight for the rebound. Van Noy gets it, and back the other way comes Van Vonderen. The runner is good for the sophomore, and she's got 4, tying her with Paige Selner for the team lead for Denmark. It's a 3-point game here, just about to hit the halfway mark in the first half. 18-minute halves here for WIAA varsity action. Taylor Kling dealing with this 1-3-1 zone. I believe I said it was 2-3 last time out. You can see Selner at the top. Long 2, no good for Bichard. Out of bounds. It's going to be off of the Comets. And our first sub of the game comes for Denmark. Number 13, Chloe Kinksink, Klinksik, I should say. Into the game. Vogel will head off for the Vikings. A deeper bench for the Vikings. I see 7 players on their bench compared to just 4 for Waupaca. Whereas you're not going to realistically have 12 players in your rotation if you're Denmark, but you do have the option. And Waupaca only has the ability to play 9 different players here tonight. We'll see if that comes into play at all, Waupaca's depth. Right now it's still the starting lineup for Waupaca, and they've done a good job staying out of foul trouble. Just 1 foul for the home team so far. Klinksik gives it to the corner, sets a screen for Van Noy. Van Noy trying to give it up to Mikolajczyk. Aggressive defense from Whittle, and she got way too aggressive there as she was trying to reach in and steal it from Van Noy. Great job deflecting that first pass. And I think she got a little too hungry to make a steal there, and that'll be a foul on Whittle, her first of the game, team second for Waupaca. 11-8 early in this one. Here's Mikolajczyk, the ball deflected. Bichard with the steal. Bichard in transition. The runner is good. What a adjustment in midair as she was contested by a Denmark defender. She still got it to go. Second time we've seen Bichard get a tough shot like that to go from floater range. 13-8, Waupaca on top, looking to avenge themselves from losing the 2 conference matchups to Denmark last year. 0-4 so far in the season. The Comets looking real good here tonight. Wiemeyer has to close out on the 3-point shot. No good from Van Noy. And it'll go to the Comets as it's deflected out of bounds. Another sub here for Denmark. Ella Quick coming in to relieve Amelia Van Noy. Bit of a press back on here for the Vikings as Bichard, the lone Comet back. She gives it to the inbounder Kling, and now they'll bring more into the backcourt. Behind the back from Nickel, a nice pass to Whittle, nearly deflected by Mikolajczyk. Whittle back to Nickel, no good. And the offensive rebound for Ava. She kicks it to Bichard. Bichard step back long 2, gets it to go. Another off-balance shot for Haley Bichard. And she has got 11 points to lead all scorers in this one. Quick into the ball game. Her first touch, she passes it to the high post. Selner finds Mikolajczyk open for 3. No good. It'll stick with the Vikings. Scoreboard has Bichard with 9 points. It's possible I missed, or I gave her a basket when she hadn't scored one. They've got Wiemeyer with 4. Inside, shot deflected off of Selner. She's got 4 for Denmark, and the Vikings have gone cold. Selner and Van Vonderen with 4 points each. They've yet to get their leading scorer, Mikolajczyk, in on the action here in this one. We hit the halfway mark of the first half, 15-8 in favor of Waupaca. Bichard up top for the Comets. Swings over for Wiemeyer. Wiemeyer thought about the deep three here. Hesitant to use her dribble. Just gives it back to Haley. Against this man defense, they ran the 1-3-1 zone for a couple of possessions. Back to man are the Vikings. Bichard, nice cut, comes to the ball. Off-balance shot, again gets it to go off 1 foot. And Bichard with her 5th bucket of the game, putting her at 11 points now. Pass stolen by Wiemeyer as Mikolajczyk was trying to force it against Waupaca's defense. 17-8. The Vikings trying to keep this from becoming a double-digit deficit as Waupaca has stretched it to 9. Kling looking hesitant here, gives it to Wiemeyer. Nice back cut and a better pass and a great finish from Rosalind to force a timeout from head coach Garrett Vanderloop, and a big cheer from the Waupaca bench as they come back to the huddle. We've got a timeout here, and we'll head to a break here on Zaleski Sports with an early 19-8 lead for Waupaca.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the sounds of fall at the Clearwater Harbor Lakefront Restaurant. A scenic and vibrant environment welcomes you to a perfect place to grab a bite to eat, enjoy live music on the dock, or simply take in the beauty of the chain of lakes of Waupaca. The menu is filled with burgers, sandwiches, appetizers, and more, and there's so much more than just a restaurant. With boat cruises and private event options available too. Get your family and friends together and make dinner and experience you're guaranteed to love at Clearwater Harbor on Highway Double Q in Waupaca.
Welcome back on Zaleski Sports. Gunnar Zippert along with Gus Olson here. 20 seconds left in the full timeout called by head coach Garrett Vanderloop of Denmark. First time out of the game by either squad. Tonight's game brought to you by Koinonia. Go Waupaca. From Koinonia in downtown Waupaca. Koinonia means community. What does community mean to you? Treat yourself to a variety of local Waupaca vendors all under one roof at Koinonia in downtown Waupaca. Zone for the Comets out of the timeout here. And a foul drawn by Ella Quick of Denmark. Looks like it's going to be on Bichard. Oh, I was mistaken. It'll be on Ava Whittle, her second. And that'll force the first sub of the game for the Comets. Whittle will have to head to the bench with 2 early fouls in this one. Coming on for the Comets, number 22. I don't have 22 in my scorebook. Amelia Karan. I had her as number 20. Or 23, my mistake. In the corner, Van Noy stepping out of bounds. A trap from Nickel and Kling forced the turnover. Amelia Karan. Junior, standing at 5'8". First bench player to see action here for the Comets. Here's her first touch. Looking for Bichard on the cut. And it'll be Nickel up top instead. Running the baseline, Karan. And Bichard with the deep 3 from the right wing. This time off the mark as she was able to get one to go earlier. In transition, Selner all the way up ahead to Van Noy. And the transition basket knocked down by Van Noy, and the assist goes to Vogel instead of Selner. Selner to the bench here, I believe, during the timeout. Karan with her team up 9, 19-10. Bichard in the deep 2-pointer range, relocates back up to Nickel. Nickel for 3 off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound, Wiemeyer. Too strong on the putback attempt, might have been deflected by a Viking defender. In transition, Waupaca does a much better job getting back this time after they were taken advantage of on the previous possession. Inside, Vogel, no good. In the middle of the lane, and the rebound goes to Karan. 19-10 our score. 3 fouls for Waupaca, 2 for the Vikings in a relatively clean first half. 2 players check in at the scorer's table for Denmark. I see Selner, and I believe also Van Vonderen subbing back in. Wiemeyer, guarded by Vogel there. Bichard behind the back and up to Karan. Waupaca doing a good job of not forcing anything against this Denmark defense in the half court. They've taken their time and been able to find shots. Nice jump stop by Bichard. Garrett Vanderloop, I think, wanted to travel there. Nonetheless, it's a miss for Haley, and back the other way come the Vikings. From the corner, Mikolajczyk drains the 3 Her first basket of the game comes at a great time for the Vikings to make it a 13-19 deficit, pulling within 6. In the meetings between these teams last year, Mika Lychek in the first meeting went 5 for 12 from three-point range to put her at a total of 23 points for the night. That was here in Waupaca last November. Looking inside for Nickel is Bichard. Nickel pops for the two-pointer, gets her rebound. Not great defensive rebounding there from the Denmark Vikings. Nickel's second shot gets blocked out of bounds. Selner back in along with Van Vonderen for Denmark. And heading off, number 23, Allison Lindsley, a freshman who checked into the game during the timeout. Wiemeyer driving inside. She'll draw a foul against Van Noy. Or, pardon me, against Vogel. Vogel's first, team third. Both teams with 3 now. Doesn't look like we're going to get to the bonus in this half. Bichard lobs in the inbound pass to Kling. Back into the game, Ava Whittle with 2 fouls. The only semblance of foul trouble here in this one. 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Comets holding on to a 6-point lead. Trying to get a bucket here after the three-pointer by Mika Lychek at the other end. Wiemeyer nearly travels, gives it up to Bichard, back into Rosalind. Wiemeyer, nice spin on her left foot, drop step, turnaround for the two-pointer, and she's got 6 on the night. Or pardon me, 8. Making it a 21-13 game, and a timeout called again by Coach Vanderloop. It's a 30-second timeout. We can keep it here. Tonight's game here from Waupaca High School, brought to you by Culligan. Culligan Water specializes in all of your water softener, drinking water, and water filtration systems. You can count on Culligan to keep your water pure and healthy with unparalleled service and convenient delivery options. Tonight's game also brought to you by Chris Holenbeck, American Family Insurance. Chris Holenbeck is your trusted American Family Insurance agency in the greater Waupaca area. Their team will closely work with you to build a dependable insurance package that will meet your needs and fit within your budget. That's Chris Holenbeck in downtown Waupaca. So that's the second timeout used by Coach Vanderloop. Coach Mondello, again, filling in as head coach here tonight for Rob Shearer. He's got all 5 of his timeouts remaining. And the zone here for Waupaca, 3-2. Nickel and Wiemeyer working along the baseline, and you've got Bichard along with Kling and Whittle at the top. Bichard with the steal, and Whittle fumbles it out of bounds as they had the chance on the breakaway there. The bounce pass gets away from Whittle, and a turnover by the Comets. 4:23 in this one. Left in this one in the first half. And it looks like Mika Lychek going to sub out here. Pardon me, she subs back in. Or that's Lindsley subbing back in. Gets the ball from Van Vonderen, just a freshman. Allison Lindsley against this 3-2 zone. You see Whittle at the top and Bichard at the very top in the middle with Kling and Whittle at her sides. In the corner, driving baseline is Vogel. Kicked back up top to Van Noy. Back to Vogel. Looking for something at the high post as Van Vonderen cut there. Here's Lindsley to Van Vonderen. And Nickel doing a good job of discouraging Van Vonderen from driving inside. Here is Selner. Her shot blocked, but before the block, a foul. It'll be on the ground. Foul's going to be on Josie Nickel, her first. Team's 4th. So Mika Lychek on the bench right now for the Vikings, the leading scorer on the season, and a first-team all-conference pick as a sophomore last year. Getting a little bit of a rest for Coach Vanderloop. Here's Lindsley looking inside for Selner. The pass a little bit forced. It's deflected off of a Waupaca tip and out of bounds. And for the Comets right now, it's the same starting 5 that's been in for 90% of the game with a brief sub out for Whittle. They've got to be feeling some tiredness here late in the first half. Perhaps that's what the zone is for, trying to ease some tired bodies for the Waupaca team. A little bit less movement than if you're in a man. But you got to be putting a lot of pressure on in this sort of zone. Here's Nickel closing out on Van Vonderen. Van Vonderen's 3, no good. And the rebound for Whittle. Good defensive possession for the Vikings, or for the Comets there, wasting a lot of clock, and the Vikings don't end up coming up with a decent shot attempt as that open three was off the mark. Wiemeyer guarded by Vogel, and they're going to give Vogel a hand check foul there. Vogel's second, and the fourth for the Vikings. Mikolajczyk back into the game as Vogel will step off with two fouls. Don't want her to pick up her third early in this one. Here's Haley Bichard, the leading scorer on the night. She's got 11 points. I had her with 13 at one point, and they'll be turned over by the Comets here. Offensive foul on Rosalind Wiemeyer. Her first. Coach Mondello has all 5 timeouts remaining for Waupaca. See if he wants to use one before the end of the first half here if his team continues to struggle on the offensive end as they did there. Mikolajczyk, deep three, gets it to go. Saw a deep three for Bichard early on, and Mikolajczyk answers with one of her own, I think from even deeper range than the one Haley hit. Here is Bichard, gives it to Kling. Kling, nice pass into Wiemeyer. Wiemeyer gets a shot up, tough look, gets it to go, and one. Great response for Waupaca after the three-pointer from Mikolajczyk at the other end. Wiemeyer looking to make it a three-point play. Foul's going to be on Lindsley, the freshman. Her first, team's fifth. And Lindsley will sub out. Wiemeyer, the left-handed shot, completes the three-point play. First free throw of the night for either side. It's the one area where Denmark has struggled this year from the free throw line. They're shooting less than 60% as a team, right around 58%. Mikolajczyk open for three, closeout from Nickel, not enough. As Mikolajczyk hits another one, she's got 3 triples tonight and keeping her team in this as it's now a 5-point game. Leading all scorers for the Vikings. Mikolajczyk's got 9, her teammates have 10. Bichard over to Whittle. Now at 1-3-1 again for Denmark. Long two, no good for Bichard. Offensive rebound. Wiemeyer gets it to go. A swish as she's fallen away. I thought she was trying to go off the backboard and in there, but gets it to go straight through the net to make it a 7-point game. Into the lane. Sellner finds some open room. Can't get it to go, however. Rebound for the Comets. Bichard with 75 seconds remaining here in the first half. 7-point lead for the Comets. Skip pass from Kling to Whittle and back up to Haley Bichard. Whittle again back over to Kling with the skip pass. 1-3-1 with Sellner at the top and Van Vonderen working the baseline. So you've got Quick, Mikolajczyk, and Van Noy as the 3 of the 1-3-1. Open for 3, Whittle, too strong. Wiemeyer, another offensive rebound. That time she can't get it to go. Nickel gets the offensive board. She can't convert. And Wiemeyer is going to pick up a foul that she would like to have back there, reaching over an opposing defender on the rebound. That'll be her second. Team 6, then Wiemeyer will head to the bench. Amelia Curran back in for the Comets. The lone player from the bench we've seen so far for Waupaca. She switches spots with Whittle in the 3-2 defense. Curran has less height than Wiemeyer, so she'll have to do a better job moving with her feet. Spin move inside. Sellner, no good. Gets her own rebound and draws a foul on Josie Nickel, her second foul. 7th foul of the half for Waupaca, so Denmark now in the single bonus. However, that's a shooting foul, so instead of a bonus here, 1-and-1 shot for Sellner, she'll get 2. First free throws of the night for Waupaca. And pardon me, that was a 1-and-1. I thought they called a shooting foul. That was a live ball off the miss from Sellner. Jump ball called, possession arrow to Denmark, so they do maintain possession after the Sellner miss. Mikolajczyk has to save herself from falling out of bounds. Her pass deflected a couple times by Whittle, and the steal for Nickel. She has to go to the floor, and Coach Mondello uses his first timeout as he didn't want Nickel to travel there. Smart job by the assistant coach filling in as head coach tonight, Rocky Mondello. We got another 30-second timeout. We'll head to a quick break here on Zaleski Sports.
As a local fourth-generation jeweler, Fletcher's Jewelers in Waupaca has the perfect variety of diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, bracelets, and so much more. From the moment you step into the store, the service creates an experience you can't find anywhere else. In addition to beautiful new pieces, Fletcher's Jewelers also provides cleaning, repair, and restoration services to keep your existing jewelry as shiny as ever. You can't beat the beautiful selection you'll find at Fletcher's Jewelers in downtown Waupaca.
My favorite part of being in the jewelry business is really the people. Building relationships with the people and becoming part of their family, being part of their traditions.
Welcome back on Zaleski Sports. 14 and a half seconds remaining off the inbound there from Kling, and we'll see Waupaca play for the last shot here to end this first half. Kling gives it up to Bouchard with 5 seconds to go. Van Vonderen pressures, and Bouchard's not going to get a shot off. She throws it up backwards, can't get it to go. And we head to halftime, 26-19 our score. 7-point lead for the Comets over the 4-3 Vikings here at the break. We'll take a couple of minutes for commercials here on Zaleski Sports. We'll come back, recap the first half after these messages.
The big thing for Farmer State Bank is we're a community-oriented bank. We support the community as much as we can. We support all different kinds of organizations, whether it's church organizations or youth organizations, arts organizations, sports, all those things. We help out where we can. The big thing for us is we want to show that we're part of the community and do whatever we can to help and give back. Our slogan is investing in you, and we pride ourselves on that.
Nestled in the Wildwood Park and Zoo, the Marshfield Rotary Club Winter Wonderland has dazzled families with over 1 million lights displayed. Admission is free. Cash donations and non-perishable food items encouraged. The Winter Wonderland is open November 29th through December 31st.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now. The biggest name in streaming and the biggest name in Wisconsin high school sports broadcasting are now in the same place. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today for easy viewing of your favorite high school sports. Find games by season, sport, or school, then sit back and enjoy. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
In every department at Dahl Auto, you'll find people who've been in the industry for decades. Sales staff with a deep knowledge, not just of cars, but how to build relationships. A service team who always double checks each other's work. Dozens of people you may never meet who've been working for years to make buying and servicing a car feel fast and easy. In over 100 years at Dahl Auto, we've learned to value experience. After working with our team, you'll value our experience too. Dahl Auto, simple.
Stop in at Shindig in Waupaca for your number one stop shop for everything sweet. Find endless candies, cakes, games, treats, crafts, shaved ice, cotton candy, popcorn, movies, and more. It's the perfect place for your next party or day out with the kids, and the wide variety means everyone is sure to find something their taste buds will enjoy. There's interactive gaming right on the floor to get the kids and parents alike jumping and laughing. Take a break and treat yourself at Shindig in downtown Waupaca on Fulton Street, or find them online at shindigitywaupaca.com.
Nestled in the Wildwood Park and Zoo, the Marshfield Rotary Club Winter Wonderland has dazzled families with over 1 million lights displayed. Admission is free. Cash donations and non-perishable food items encouraged. The Winter Wonderland is open November 29th through December 31st.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket.
Welcome back on Zaleski Sports here at halftime. The score 26-19 in favor of the Comets of Waupaca hosting the Denmark Vikings here. This is one of, I believe, if I'm counting correctly, 15 different broadcasts we have going on tonight on the Zaleski Sports Network. Whether you're watching on YouTube, through ZaleskiSports.com, through Roku, 15 broadcasts. We've got 3 different sports, as we've got a couple of hockey games, as well as a wrestling meet, and, of course, a ton of boys and girls basketball here on the Zaleski Sports Market tonight. 26-19, our score at the half here. Waupaca 0-4 in the season. Again, could be 0-5 or 1-4. They had a game on the schedule at Waupaca last night, their first road game of the season after having the first 4 at home. But I didn't see a final score for that game anywhere. So if someone on the YouTube chat knows what happened last night, feel free to leave a message there. But as far as I'm aware, Waupaca looking to get their first win of the season, and they did a great job in the first half to accomplish that goal. It's a 7-point lead over the Vikings, who coming into this one were playing better basketball than Waupaca. And the leading scorers for the Comets at the half, it's it's Rosalind Wiemeyer with 13 points. She's got 6 baskets, all 2-pointers, and she had that 1 3-point play, knocked down the only free throw of the half for the Comets. And then Haley Bichard with 11 points, all scored in the first 9 minutes of the half. She hit a deep 3 and then some off-balance 2-point shots to get the Comets out to that early lead, and then it was more of Rosalind Wiemeyer scoring in the second quote-unquote quarter of the game. Josie Nickel, the only other player on the score sheet for Waupaca, with just 2 points. Ava Whittle with 2 fouls, as well as Nickel and Wiemeyer with 2 fouls. We'll see if that comes into play in the second half. And 1 foul for Taylor Kling for 7.5 for the Comets. On the other side for the Vikings, the leading scorer, Kiara Mikolajczyk, she hit 3 3-pointers towards the end of the first half to put some life into her team and pull them within single digits as the Comets were threatening to run away with this one here early. She knocked down a deep 3 from the left wing, as well as one in the corner, in which Josie Nickel did a good job of closing out. It was just too little too late, and with a player like Mikolajczyk averaging 15 on the year, an all-conference performer as a sophomore last year, first-team all-conference for the Vikings, she's going to make those shots. Other players on the scoreboard for Denmark, Paige Sellner with 2 early baskets, as well as Allie Van Vonderen with 2 early baskets in the first portion of that first half. Amelia Van Noy with 2 points, so Sellner and Van Vonderen each with 4. And that'll be wrapping up the scoring for the Vikings. In terms of foul trouble, you've got Paige Vogel with 2, as well as, Mikolajczyk's got 1, Van Vonderen's got 1, Lindsley with 1. And there's another foul that I am missing. They had 5.5. That adds up to 5. Both teams back out here as we prepare for the second half. Coming up for our other games in the Northeastern Conference tonight for girls basketball. Luxembourg-Casco on the road in a non-conference game at Ashwaubenon. In another non-conference game, Clintonville hosting Seymour. And then more games coming up on Thursday. Clintonville at Luxembourg-Casco, O'Connell Falls at Wrightstown, and Freedom at Marinette, a matchup of 2 of the top teams in this conference. On the boys' side, the Waupaca boys team at Freedom tonight, Denmark's boys team at Little Chute, and Denmark will host Waupaca on Friday. And that's been our recap of the first half here on Zaleski Sports. We'll take another quick commercial break before getting you ready for the second half. Stay tuned.
The big thing for Farmer State Bank is we're a community-oriented bank. We support the community as much as we can. We support all different kinds of organizations, whether it's church organizations or youth organizations, arts organizations, sports, all those things. We help out where we can. The big thing for us is we want to show that we're part of the community and do whatever we can to help and give back. Our slogan is investing in you, and we pride ourselves on that.
The biggest name in streaming and the biggest name in Wisconsin high school sports broadcasting are now in the same place. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today for easy viewing of your favorite high school sports. Find games by season, sport, or school, then sit back and enjoy. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today.
Everyday Hometown is Waupaca's locally owned department store with an exceptional variety of everything you need, from pet care and personal items to hardware and tools, from furniture and home decor to paint, toys, and so much more. At Everyday Hometown, you can always expect excellent customer service with a smile and plenty of help finding just what you need. They're a dealer of bad boy lawnmowers, and having everything under one roof saves you time and money. Shop local and buy local at Everyday Hometown on West Fulton Street in Waupaca.
Welcome back here on Zaleski Sports, just about a minute away from the second half beginning. Tonight's game brought to you by L&L Propane. For all your propane needs in Waupaca, Wautoma, Princeton, Fremont, and surrounding areas, turn to L&L Propane. Specializing in propane, tanks, new installation, filling, repairs, moving tanks, and more. That's L&L Propane in Waupaca. Say cheese at the Gouda Life in downtown Waupaca. Dozens of cheeses and local delicacies mixed with other assorted local grocery items makes the Gouda Life a must-stop next time you're in downtown Waupaca. That's the Gouda Life on Main Street in Waupaca. And finally, tonight's game brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors. Just like these players bring their best to the court, Ridgetop Exteriors brings top-tier performance to your home. From roofing projects to siding, windows, and doors, Ridgetop Exteriors has the winning strategy to protect your home. Visit richtopexteriors.com and score big with trusted, local, affordable service. Second half will begin with the Comets on offense. Haley Bichard gives it up to Kling. We'll see how each of these teams comes out of the halftime break. Looks like Denmark's got some renewed effort here on defense, playing tight to their opposition. Kling misses the three, and here's the rebound for Van Vonderen, looking to push it out in transition. Doesn't quite have the numbers. Finds Vogel open on the three-point line. About a travel for Paige Vogel. Turns it right back over to the Comets. And again, talking about renewed defensive effort, the full-court press back for the Vikings. No one guarding the inbounder, and they'll give it up to Kling. 3-on-2. Here's Nickel in transition. The assist to Kling, and Josie Nichols got her second basket of the game. Van Vonderen to Mikolajczyk, and 3-2 defense back for the Comets. Again, a thin bench for Waupaca, so in theory, perhaps this zone defense saving some of their legs as they're able to just stay in a certain area of the court and not have to travel and track their man around in a man defense. The steal for Nickel, and 2 turnovers early here for Denmark in the second half. Bichard gives it up to Kling. Kling over to Nickel. Nickel gets blocked by Vogel, and the save. Back the other way, Mikolajczyk, outlet pass to Van Vonderen. She's got Selner with her. She takes it instead. Rebound to Whittle, and Ava does save it from going out of bounds. Here come the Comets again. Kling takes it back her dribble, and the pass over and back from the Comets. Whittle did her best job to get over half court. Her feet were in the air as she caught that ball, but they're going to say she took off from back. I think maybe the ball was still caught in the backcourt, and it'll be a backcourt violation against Waupaca. Their first turnover of the half. Mikolajczyk, big skip pass to Van Noy, corner to corner there against this 3-2 defense. Wiemeyer in the game with 2 fouls. Nickel and Whittle also with 2. Pass from Mikolajczyk to Van Noy. The three-pointer no good. Rebound, Bichard. And about 2 minutes into the second half here, the scoring has been 2-0 in favor of the Comets. Man defense for the Vikings. Driving was Whittle. Gives it up to Nickel. Nickel for 3. Too short. Trying to save it was Taylor Kling. Can't get a hand on it before she stepped out of bounds. And an empty offensive possession for the Comets keeps this at a 9-point ball game. Bichard and Whittle looking to provide Kling actually looking to provide a half-court trap there. Skip pass from Mikolajczyk to Eager, and it's stolen by Nickel. Nickel gets her pass deflected by Van Vonderen. Van Vonderen in transition. Selner finishes And Paige Selner with the first basket of the second half for the Vikings. A little bit of sloppy play by both sides there. Mika Lychek forcing the skip pass, and then Josie Nickel gets her pass deflected in transition. Turnaround shot from Bichard, no good, off of 1 foot. And here's Van Vonderen in transition yet again, up against Nickel. Clean defense from Josie, but the basket is good. And Van Vonderen with her first basket since early in the first half. Breaking the press is Bichard. She's got Wiemeyer with her, but it's 2-on-2, and she won't push it with even numbers there. Bichard loses her dribble, handoff to Kling. Kling guarded by Mika Lychek. Van Vonderen on Bichard. Wiemeyer looking for the pass on the roll inside, deflects it out of bounds. Possession to the Vikings. Tonight's game brought to you by Mutual of Wausau. Mutual of Wausau Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutualofwausau.com to find an agent near you. Again, Bichard just kind of hanging out at half court, looking for that half court trap. Not even, as Mika Lychek picked up her dribble there and she didn't pressure. Van Vonderen swings it to Van Noy. Van Noy with just 2 points finds Selner inside. She's got 6, draws a foul. It'll be on the ground there. It's on Whittle, her third. Whittle yet to get on the score sheet for Waupaca, has played a role, though, on the offensive end, grabbing offensive rebounds. She'll have to come out for Amelia Curran. Again, Curran, the only sub that's seen time here in this one for Waupaca. Here's Mika Lychek from the corner, 3-2 strong. Easy rebound for Josie Nickel. And as it's a 5-point game, it'll be Nickel bringing it up. Looking for Bichard on the cut there. Picks it back up, her dribble. It must have been tipped. It should have been a double dribble. And a foul on Van Vonderen. I believe they said Mika Lychek tipped the ball as Josie Nickel had picked it up and was just holding it by her side. That'll be on Van Vonderen, her second. Nickel, the inbounder, need to avoid a 5-second violation. Has to just throw it up for Wiemeyer. And Waupaca will be able to get settled in here. 4 minutes into the second half. The scoring, two for the Comets here in the second half, and 4 for the Vikings. Timeout called by Coach Rocky Mondello, as he didn't like what he saw from his offense early in that possession. We'll take a timeout as well here on Zaleski Sports and be back with second half action live from Waupaca.
At Ridgetop, we are your trusted, local, affordable exterior renovations expert. Isn't that right, Bo?
Exactly, especially when we are working on someone's biggest investment.
Can you give us an example, Bo?
Well, there was this house. We replaced the roofing, siding, and windows. Then, they left a 5-star review.
One of our thousands of 5-star reviews?
Exactly.
For your free, no-obligation estimate, call us today or go to ridgetopexteriors.com.
Welcome back here on Zaleski Sports. Coach Mondello of Waupaca calling a timeout there as his team was struggling a little bit in that offensive possession. We've mentioned that only one sub seeing the floor for Waupaca here tonight, and I believe the other 3 subs on the bench all also play on the JV team. They're all freshmen. Lainey Berenz, Callie Guyette, and Allie Landry. I believe there is a rule in WIAA. I think a player cannot play more than 3 halves in one night. Bichard, no good from 3. Back the other way. Denmark in transition. Great steal by Bichard, and she draws the foul from Van Vonderen. Van Vonderen a little too eager there to get the ball back after turning it over. That'll be the 3rd on the sophomore for Denmark. Back in the day when it used to be quarters in the WIAA, I think it was a player couldn't play more than 5 or 6 quarters in a night, meaning that if you took the floor in the first, second, and third quarters in a JV game, that counted as 3 on the night, and then you had 2 or 3 more for the varsity game. I can't remember. But with 18-minute halves now, it couldn't be. You could only play 2 halves in a night. Then players couldn't stretch across JV and varsity at all. So it must be 3. Bichard pulls up, deep 2. Wiemeyer again with the offensive rebound, and can't get it to go, but draws the foul. And this will be our first time seeing 2 shots from the line for either team in this ballgame. Wiemeyer had a 3-point play earlier in which she hit her lone free throw, and then for Denmark, it's been just the 1 free throw attempt on a single bonus foul for Paige Sellner. She missed it and therefore didn't get a second chance. Wiemeyer no good there, so she's 1 for 2 on the night, as is her team. Looking to pull the team percentage above 50%. Too short, but Nickel gets the offensive rebound. Josie Nickel back up, and good. They'll call the continuation foul there. Gets it to go. Josie Nickel will have a chance at a 3-point play. First foul on Amelia Van Noy as Nickel heads to the line for the first time. Shot is good. And the lead is back to 8 for the Comets. 3-2 defense still for Coach Mondello's team. Van Noy gives to Mikolajczyk in the corner, and clearly that's going to be an emphasis for Waupaca. Don't give Mikolajczyk an open 3. Sellner fumbled the ball down low, and then they're going to call a travel as she was regaining possession. Into the game for Shaylin Krasniewski for the Vikings. Her first time seeing the floor. She's a sophomore, 5'7". In their most recent game against Little Chute, Krasniewski had 7 rebounds. Karan driving right. Needs a little bit of help from her teammates. Bichard comes with the assist. So on the floor for Waupaca, the normal starting 5, except Whittle on the bench for Karan. Here's Wiemeyer in the corner. More of an inside player, Wiemeyer, and she travels there to turn it over. And for Denmark on the floor right now, you've got Ella Quick off the bench, Paige Sellner, Mikolajczyk, Taylor Lindsley, the freshman, and Shay Krasniewski, the sophomore. So just 2 starters in the game for the Vikings right now. Inside they go. It's Krasniewski, and she gets it to go for her first points of the ballgame. Immediate impact from the sophomore off the bench. Bichard helps out Nickel, and they break a loose press. Bichard, long 2, knocks it down. Haley Bichard, precision shooting there to get her first basket since the early part of the first half. Up top is Quick, swings it to Mikolajczyk. Mikolajczyk still with those 3 3-pointers. That's been her scoring output tonight. Skip pass over to Quick. Back up to Lindsley, the freshman. Now Mikolajczyk drives. Great pass into Sellner. Sellner and 1. Nice little bit of passing there from Mikolajczyk to Sellner into the lane, and Paige will have a chance at a 3-point play. Third foul on Josie Nickel here. And again, another new sub here for the Vikings, Vanessa Umentum, a 5'6" sophomore. As the free throw is good from Sellner to make it a 33-28 game, as Denmark is inching back into this one. Whittle back into the game with Nickel at 3 fouls as well. She'll get the rest on the bench. Karan stays in. Wiemeyer looking to handle the ball here and break the press. Tipped out of bounds by Sellner. They'll get the clock to reset in terms of a backcourt 10-second violation. 5-point game, 33-28. Waupaca has led for the entirety of this one. If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe Denmark led early at all. Umentum, the newest player in for the Vikings, to guard Bichard. Pass into Wiemeyer is stolen. It'll be Whittle with the turnover there. Deep 3 for Mikolajczyk is off the mark, but the offensive rebound for Quick. And now we set into the half-court offense as Mikolajczyk pulled up early in this possession. Bichard with no fouls so far. She's able to pressure up at the top. It'll be Whittle with the steal here. Whittle against Mikolajczyk. Shot is good. Ava Whittle with her first points of the ballgame. Back in transition the other way. Sellner at the other end gets the long outlet pass and the score to put it back at a 5-point deficit. We've seen that a couple times tonight. Waupaca not getting back on defense after a basket of their own, and Denmark able to take advantage of that. Bichard behind the back against Umentum. Umentum yet to see the floor tonight, although she is second on the team in rebounding. But as I mentioned, a lot of these wins for Denmark have been blowouts, so perhaps they've given Umentum a lot of playing time in second halves of games that haven't been so close. And this game has been close, so she didn't come in until late. Bichard looking again for Wiemeyer, and again it's stolen by the Vikings. It's Mikolajczyk crossing over on Karan. No good, but draws the foul. And Denmark with some momentum in this one as we are just under 10 minutes to go. Mikolajczyk, her first time to the line here tonight. The only other player on Denmark with free throw attempts is Paige Sellner, as Mikolajczyk knocks it down. And again, Sellner had the 1-and-1 in the first half, where she missed the first, and then she had that 3-point play. So this is the first time we've seen a Denmark shooter with 2 in a row, and Mikolajczyk knocks down 2 in a row to make it a 1-possession ball game. Whittle looking for help, gets it to Bichard. Bichard has to save it behind the back, somehow finds Wiemeyer as it got by a defender. Wiemeyer all the way through to Karan. It's good. Looks like that pass was intended for Whittle. Whittle couldn't get her hands on it, but Karan will finish. It's a fortunate break a couple times there for the Comets, and it's a 5-point lead yet again. Mikolajczyk gives it inside to Sellner. Sellner met by Whittle, but Whittle's got 3 fouls, has to play straight up, and it's going to be an easy conversion for Paige Sellner, as she's got 13 in the ball game. Foul at half court against the new Viking into the game, Vanessa Umentum, her first. Josie Nichols subbing back in, and Amelia Karan off that made basket will head back to the bench with her first points of the game. 37-34 our score. 5 team fouls for Denmark, just 3 for the Comets. Waupaca's done a great job of not fouling with their thin lineup, but they do have a couple players at 3 each, being Nickel and Whittle, and Josie not able to handle that pass in the corner, so Nickel turns it over. Denmark with a chance to tie here as we approach the halfway mark of this second half. 9 minutes remaining. Inside Kreshniski, no good. The rebound for Sellner hits the bottom side of the backboard there, but she was able to maintain possession. Nice pass to Mikolajczyk from Quick. Step back from Chiara, no good. Rebound off the hands of Bichard and out of bounds. It'll go to the Comets, as they're going to say it hit a Denmark defender as it was on its way out of bounds. 3-point game as Denmark has crawled back into this one. It was a 7-point deficit at half. Here's Wiemeyer crossing half court. She's got Nickel with her, tries to get it to Whittle, and it's stolen. But after the steal, Ella Quick called for a travel. And Quick not happy with that decision, or with that call, I should say, and also, I suppose, her own decision. Apologizes to the ref. I think she might have gotten a warning there. Nickel inbound, finds Whittle wide open, and Whittle converts for her second basket of the game. 39-34. Mikolajczyk in transition, gets it back, and over to Umentum. Umentum inside, Kreshniski draws a foul, and that'll be the 4th on Josie Nickel. And we've got plenty of time left in this one, so Josie Nickel playing with just 1 foul to give, and looks like Amelia Karan's going to sub back in here. Coach Mondello not willing to risk Nickel getting her 5th foul. 2 shots for Krashniski. First one no good. Van Vonderen back for the Vikings as well, and the other number 22, Amelia Karan, for Waupaca into the game. So we've seen Whittle go to the bench. We've seen Nickel go to the bench. Wiemeyer, Kling, and Bichard have been in the entire game. Free throws no good, but we're going to have a lane violation on the Comets, so Krashniski will get another chance. It'll be like that one never even happened. And that'll allow the Vikings to get another free sub there. If that miss had gone the same way, and the Comets would have gotten that rebound. Van Noy wouldn't have been able to check in, but she does get to, and on the second attempt, or the third attempt from Krasniewski, she gets one to go. So officially 1 for 2 from the line, and it's a 4-point game. Wiemeyer driving in and drawing a foul on the floor. Will be on Selner. First for Paige Selner. She's been able to stay out of foul trouble for this Vikings team. That's 6 for Denmark, so Waupaca will be shooting free throws the rest of the way if Denmark commits a defensive foul. Bichard being vocal for her team, telling them to get set in their offense. Kling looking inside, and we're going to have a foul off ball against the Vikings. And it'll result in free throws for Haley Bichard as we hit the single bonus. So a 1-and-1 situation here. Never mind, it'll be Ava Whittle as they clarify who the foul was committed against. The foul was committed by Mika Lychek, her second. First free throw no good from Whittle, so back the other way come the Vikings. It's stolen. Krasniewski turned it over. Bichard against Selner, and Selner draws the charge. So just to recap what happened there, Whittle misses the first free throw. Denmark tries to get out in transition, turns it over, and then back the other way, an offensive foul against Bichard, her first, team's fifth. 3-2 zone still for the Comets. Wiemeyer down on the right block, trying to prevent the pass into Selner. They go to the left corner. Here's Van Noy. Van Noy trying not to travel. Coach Mondello wanted a call. Step back three for Mika Lychek. Perhaps a long two. No good. And here comes Bichard with a 4-point lead. 7.5 remaining. Bichard behind the back, as we've seen her do a couple times tonight. And Bichard with the two different colored shoes. Pressured by Mika Lychek, and it's going to be a 5-second violation, except for the fact that Coach Mondello gets a timeout called there. Be a 30-second timeout. We can stay here with it. Coach Shearer back on the sidelines after the board meeting ends here in Waupaca. Of course, he's the athletic director in addition to being the girls basketball head coach. Tonight's game brought to you by Fleet Farm. Fleet Farm's layaway program is here to help you make this year's holiday shopping easier than ever. Learn more about Fleet Farm's layaway program. Visit any store or head to fleetfarm.com. Visit Marshfield to see the largest holiday lights display in central Wisconsin, featuring over 2 million lights at Wildwood Park. Open nightly now through New Year's Eve. For more information, go to visitmarshfield.com. Again, that's visitmarshfield.com. Out of the timeout, the third of the game called by Coach Mondello. And pass is tipped. Selner with the steal and almost stolen right back by Kling. Selner finds Mika Lychek inside for the conversion. 2-point ball game, the closest Denmark has gotten at any point since early in the first half when Waupaca was just beginning to take the lead. Bichard, deep three, too short. Rebound's going to go to Selner. Selner pushing it ahead. Mika Lychek back the other way, guarded by Bichard, and Bichard, smart foul there. She's only got the one, so she can definitely afford to stop Mika Lychek from getting an easy basket there. Mika Lychek's second trip to the line. She's 2 for 2. Make it 3 for 3. And it's a 1-point ball game. Kiara Mika Lychek able to tie the ball game here for the Vikings. She does just that. It's 39-all here in this early season Northeastern Conference matchup. Again, Waupaca 0-2 to start the year with losses against Wrightstown and Freedom, whereas Denmark 1-1. They have a victory over Little Chute and a close loss to Freedom as well. Inside they go to Wiemeyer. Wiemeyer off the drop step, turn to the right-hand hook shot. It's no good, but she'll head to the line. Wiemeyer 1 for 3 at the line tonight. As she missed 2 free throws earlier in the second half and had a 3-point play earlier in the first. Josie Nickel subbing back in for Amelia Coran. Nickel with 4 fouls. And Wiemeyer able to get 1 of 2. She's now 2 for 5 at the line tonight. 1-point lead for the Comets. Mikolajczyk thinks about that deep 3, and she knows that Coach Vanderloop's going to want a more thorough offensive possession here. She works with Van Noy playing catch. They go inside to Selner. Selner was looking for Krasniski. Krasniski had cut the wrong way for Selner's pass, and a turnover with 6 minutes remaining here in the game. 8 team fouls for the Vikings, 6 for the Comets. So we're going to have a lot of free throws headed down the stretch here should there be fouls. Nice job by Kling. Gets the ball past us, stealing Mikolajczyk. Misses the 3, out in transition. Mikolajczyk to Selner. Bouchard was able to tip it and saved by Selner, but it's going to be a backcourt violation on the Vikings. Outstanding job getting out in transition by the Vikings, but Bouchard with the tip on the pass makes all the difference for Waupaca. 40-39 our score. Waupaca has led the entire game. Denmark pulled it even at 39, but has yet to pull themselves ahead. Here's Whittle driving, crossing over on Van Vonderen. Too strong. Nickel, the offensive rebound, and the finish. Josie Nickel playing with those 4 fouls. She's got to be careful on the defensive end, but still able to do her part on offense. Driving baseline is Selner. Gets around Wiemeyer, and a nice finish for the junior, Paige Selner. Again, it's a 1-point game. Wiemeyer played very straight-up defense there. She didn't want to commit a foul, clearly, but she's only got 2. She is, is able to spare one, at least more than Josie Nickel is, with her 4. Bouchard's got 2 fouls. Whittle's got 3. Taylor Kling with just 1. That's the starting 5 for Waupaca, and they've played the majority of the game with each other, as Amelia Coran's been the only sub. 3 for Bouchard, short, as it has been a couple times tonight. Down inside she goes to Wiemeyer. Wiemeyer saves it. Nickel falling away. What an outstanding play from Rosalind Wiemeyer, and Nickel with a nice shot off the backboard and in to stretch this back to a 3-point game. At the top of the key, it was Van Vonderen giving it up and getting it back into the corner. Mikolajczyk, she's going to have a double team on her every time she gets the ball along the 3-point line. Coach Mondello not going to allow her to take advantage. It'll be a full timeout called by Coach Garrett Vanderloop, and we'll take a timeout here as well on Zaleski Sports.
When it comes to propane, this is the best time of the year. Get your fill scheduled before the winter weather sets in, and you'll be glad you did with L&L Propane in Waupaca. Servicing all throughout central Wisconsin, no matter the size of your propane need, L&L can get you set and ready for your home needs, business needs, crop drying, and so much more. Don't get caught paying those late season prices for your propane this year. Just call L&L Propane at 800-924-5975. That's 800-924-5975 for the best propane price of the year.
Welcome back here on Zaleski Sports. Timeout called by head coach Garrett Vanderloop of the Denmark Vikings. His first timeout that he's used here in the second half. Both coaches with 2 remaining. Waupaca breaks their huddle first. They've got a 3-point lead here with just over 4 minutes remaining here in this Northeastern Conference matchup. Leading scorers for Waupaca, you've got Rosalind Wiemeyer with 14, Haley Bouchard with 13, all but 2 of those points for Bouchard in the first half. She's gone a little bit colder here in the second half, and you've also got Josie Nickel with 11. Inside they go to Van Vonderen off both sides of the rim, no good for the sophomore. Leading scorer Kiara Mikolajczyk with 15 points for the Vikings, 14 for Paige Selner. Paige Selner with the 12. I thought I had mistaken myself. And a travel on Ava Whittle there. Not the offensive possession that Waupaca wanted out of the timeout. Other contributors for the Vikings, Van Vonderen with 6, Van Noy with 2, Krasniqi with 3. And that's the 5 players on the floor right now for Coach Vanderloop's team. Big skip pass from Mikolajczyk to Van Noy, and back to Van Noy in the corner. On the bench for the Vikings, Paige Vogel with her 2 fouls in the first half has been on the bench for an extended period here in the second half. You hope it's not an injury of any sort. Steal off the Van Vonderen pass there, and Waupaca forcing another turnover. 1-3-1 for the Vikings. You've got Sellner at the top, and you can see Mikolajczyk on the far side of your screen looking to jump any sort of pass that comes her way. And a break up there from Krasniqi. It'll stick with the Comets. Coming back in, the freshman Taylor Lindsley for the Vikings. I've been saying Taylor Lindsley. My mistake, Allison Lindsley. I don't know where that got into my head. Haley Bouchard at the top of the key. She'll be guarded by, I believe that's Lindsley. Or no, it's Van Vonderen, number 22. 23 right there against Bouchard is Lindsley. Nicola on the right wing. Lost her dribble. Needs help from a teammate. Almost a 5-second violation. Some fans calling for a travel in the crowd. Kling finds Wiemeyer. Wiemeyer with the offensive advantage. Had some numbers with Whittle right there. Decides to go with the left-handed layup. No good. And it remains a 3-point game. In transition, it's Van Vonderen. Shot is short. And Nickel with the rebound. Both teams struggling to find a quality offensive look here. Denmark has been liking to push the ball in transition, as Van Vonderen took that shot pretty early in the offensive possession. Kling's pass is stolen, and here we go again in transition. Van Vonderen too far for Mikolajczyk, and Mikolajczyk will have to run into the second gym here to track that one down. 2:07 remaining here from Waupaca, and both teams have gone cold on the offensive end. We remain at a score of 44-41. Looking like there's going to be some sort of full court press here for Denmark as Umentum subs back in for Krasniqi. The inbounder will be Kling, guarded by Van Noy. Coming to the ball is Whittle. She gets by Van Vonderen and gives it up to Bouchard. And the press relaxes as the junior forward, Haley Bouchard, comes across half court. We're under 2 minutes to go here. Waupaca clinging to a 3-point lead, and Sellner is going to be called for the reach foul there. Her second. 9th on the Vikings in this half. And Umentum will head out quickly. Just a little bit of a break there for Krasniqi. This will be a 1-and-1 for Bouchard. Gets the first, earns the second, and makes it a 2-possession game. Coach Rob Shearer providing some instruction from the bench, but Rocky Mondello still standing up and acting as the head coach for the remainder of this one. And he's done a great job as his team's got a 5-point lead against a team that was predicted to finish 4 spots ahead of them. Deep three from Mikolajczyk. She gets it to go. And perhaps not the ideal offensive possession for Coach Vanderloop, but they'll take it as Mikolajczyk gets it to go with the deep three-pointer, pulls it back within 2. Full timeout called here. We'll take a quick timeout here on Zaleski Sports.
Selling your car to Dahl Auto is quick and easy. Bring your title and keys, and you'll have a check in as little as 30 minutes. Still owe money on your vehicle? No problem. We'll take care of it. Dahl Auto. Simple.
Welcome back on Zaleski Sports. In the middle of a full timeout here with Waupaca leading by 2. Today's game brought to you by Waupaca Foundry. Cast your own future at Waupaca Foundry. Now hiring for a number of open positions with a great environment and the chance to work your way up the ladder and truly build your career. Cast your own future at jobs.waupacafoundry.com. Today's game brought to you by Everyday Hometown. At Everyday Hometown in Waupaca, you'll find all of your everyday needs under one roof. From furniture, lawn care, and seasonal products to sporting goods, automotive, grills, and decor. Find just what you need all in one place at Everyday Hometown in Waupaca. And lastly, today's game is brought to you by Shindig Waupaca. Immerse yourself in a store filled with candies, treats, and toys right here at Shindig in downtown Waupaca. Kids and parents alike are bound to love this unique local gem. Visit Shindig on Fulton Street in downtown Waupaca. Out of the timeout here, it'll be the press again from Denmark. Pass is tipped by Van Vonderen out of bounds. And looking like Waupaca will have to take it on the side here with 1:40 remaining. Everybody in the backcourt for Waupaca. Nobody trying to cherry pick down the court to break the press. Again, Kling to inbound. Nobody guarding Kling, so it's 5-on-4 off the inbound there. Gets it to Bouchard and back to Kling, back to Bouchard, and Haley will take it across half court. Man defense for Denmark. We've seen them switch between man and a 1-3-1 zone here tonight, but wanted to provide a lot of pressure here on the Comets. Haley Bouchard's team with just the 2-point lead. Nickel playing with 4 fouls. She gets it to Kling. Kling met by 2 defenders. It'll be a jump ball, perhaps a travel. They're going to say the jump ball occurred first. And the possession arrow was favoring the Vikings. On the scoreboard it says the Comets, but I think they just switched it over too quickly and I couldn't see. So a 2-point lead here. Waupaca not able to get anything going on that offensive possession. Mikolajczyk deep 3 for the lead. No good, and Nickel with the rebound. Kiara Mikolajczyk was able to get that to go one time. Nice pass from Nickel to Whittle up the court, and Ava Whittle cherry picking on the other end. It works very well for the Comets. Into the lane, Sellner, no good. Offensive rebound got taken away from Denmark, but it's going to be a foul, sending a Viking to the line. And a great job of getting out in transition there by Whittle. To me, it appeared she had been standing there for so long, but she probably just sprinted down the court and looked like she was settled there. The 1-and-1 free throw, no good for Sellner, and the rebound for Whittle. So both teams in the single bonus currently, although the Vikings have 9 fouls. Bouchard needs help, and she'll get it from her coach, Mondello. Coach Rocky Mondello calling timeout as we're under 30 seconds to go in this one. That was the second to last timeout called by Coach Mondello. It'll be a full timeout, but we can keep it here. Coach Vanderloop of Denmark also has one to go as both teams meet with their bench on the sidelines. A 4-point lead for the Comets. They were up 7 at half, and you can see in the huddle for Waupaca, it is Coach Rob Shearer leading the discussion. Mondello called the timeout, but of course Shearer, the normal head coach, subbing in for the Vikings, Umentum, during the break here. Coach Vanderloop in his 3rd season for Denmark. Last year they were 15-11, made it to the regional final against Xavier, where they fell 38-65 on the road. Last year, Waupaca was 8-18. They were 6-12 in conference, which led them to a finish of, I believe, 7th place, although I don't have it up here currently. Huddle breaks, and we're under 30 seconds to go here. 4-point lead for the Comets, looking for their first conference win of the year. They're 0-2 to start so far. Denmark 1-1. Finding the open Kling was Whittle. No good, but Whittle grabs the offensive rebound as she's done a ton of times tonight. Bouchard fakes the 3 there, and a smart of her not to take it as Denmark has to foul. Great play out of the timeout. Finding the open Kling was Whittle. She couldn't convert on the easy opportunity. There was a defender in her way, however, and thankfully, I should say the open opportunity, not easy. Of course, it's not easy when there's a defender rearing down your back there. Double bonus here. And first shot is hit by Bouchard. She's done a great job at the line here in the second half where she's 3 for 3. 5-point lead for the Comets. Just over 20 seconds to go to make it 6. 50-44. They're going to need a quick bucket here on the offensive end. Here's Sellner. Sellner driving. She'll get the 2 open, and the floater's good. Timeout called by Vanderloop. here with 12.1 remaining. It's 46-50 in favor of the Comets. That's going to be the last timeout for Coach Vanderloop. And it'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here yet again. So Comets closing in on their first victory in conference this season with a 4-point lead here in this one. Bichard, Wiemeyer, and Kling have been on the floor the entire game. Bichard with 17 points, Wiemeyer with 14, and while Kling doesn't have any points, she just has the one foul. She's played clean defense all night, and she's provided valuable minutes for this team that doesn't have a deep bench. And here she is again, Taylor Kling as the inbounder for the Comets. It'll be a press here from the Vikings, looking to force a turnover on the inbound, but surely if Waupaca gets it, they'll immediately foul. And there's going to be a foul off ball against the Vikings, resulting in 2 free throws. That couldn't have been what Coach Vanderloop intended. It's going to be on Van Vonderen, her 5th. So Van Vonderen will foul out with 6 points. And again, it'll be double bonus here as Denmark is over 10 fouls in the half. Whittle will get 2 shots. First one is good. Wiemeyer will fill in for Waupaca on the other side of the lane, opposite Josie Nickel. And Nickel has done a good job with, she had 2 fouls coming into the half, committed 2 early. That one's no good from Whittle. It's a 5-point game. Denmark needs a quick bucket. Mikolajczyk to Van Noy. Van Noy for 3, no good. Rebound for Stelner. She puts up a 2, no good. And the rebound for Whittle. And the clock runs out. Waupaca gets their first conference win of the season, 51-46, putting them at a conference record of 1-2. Denmark now 1-2 as well, as they drop their first conference game here, their second conference game of the season here on the road at Waupaca. A 5-point victory for Coach Rob Shearer, but filling in tonight was Coach Mondello for the majority of the game. We'll have an interview with one of the coaches from Waupaca and a player of their choosing here after this break on the Waupaca Foundry post-game show. For a job that will ignite your career, apply today at jobs@waupacafoundry.com. That's jobs@waupacafoundry.com. We'll be right back with the post-game show.
The mission at Waupaca Foundry is to provide all of the world with our great quality castings.
I think it'd be kind of hard to find this sort of environment working anywhere else. It's a little bit different than your typical factory setting.
People think that we just pour, we pour a few castings, but like here at Plant 1, we're pouring, 3,000 different parts.
There's a lot to learn, and it's fascinating. When I started and I said that to myself, well, if I don't give it a shot and I don't try out the job, I won't know if I actually like it.
I stay because of my team leader and my foreman and the guys I work with over there. They make it fun and easy and interesting. They're willing to help. They're willing to teach. They give you the time to learn.
As long as you show up, you do what you're supposed to, you ask questions, and you put your best foot forward, you literally can keep moving up.
One of the things that has kept me tied to the company is how do you feel? When you go every day to a place, you belong to a team, you have opportunity for growth, that's the right place to be.
I take pride in everything I do. And if you take pride in what you do, you're always going to do your best at it.
Waupaca has opened up a lot of opportunities for me. They've sent me to school. I have an associate's degree now. I take pride in that because I've always wanted to have a college degree, and now I have it, and Waupaca supplied that to me.
I feel like we are an elite team that keeps this place running in Melton Iron, and I like to feel part of something bigger.
I enjoy working with everybody. I love being up here in Wisconsin.
It's like a brotherhood. Everyone knows everyone. Everyone's looking out for everyone.
The people that make up Waupaca Foundry are just really genuine, hard-working people.
I take pride in everything I do. And if you take pride in what you do, you're always going to do your best at it.
We build a good sense of
Gillespie
camaraderie.
Sports for tonight's post-game show. We'll talk to Coach Mondello, Coach Rocky Mondello, filling in for the majority of tonight's game. How was that experience with your head coach coming back in the second half? You had to take on the first half by yourself.
It was fun. I wasn't sure. I asked him like 3 times if he wanted to stand up. He's like, nope, it's working. So just keep doing what you're doing. The girls played. They stayed in the game the whole time, and that was, what we've been struggling with. But last night was a good thing for us to get a good win last night, and came out with confidence tonight, so it's good.
Yeah, so last night against Waupaca, your first win of the season, and then tonight your first conference win of the season against a Denmark team that was predicted to finish ahead of you in some preseason content by certain outlets. What was it like to get somewhat of an upset win here on your home floor?
Well, I think the girls they stayed in the game the entire time. They were loud, and that's huge for us, especially with the group coming, the crowd that we had. It was good. It's a good win. It's something for us to continue to build on and give them that confidence as we go into we get 3 days off here now, and then 3 games next week before break. So, be nice little time for us.
And then my final question for you. You guys were only able to play 6 players here tonight. What do you have to say about the minutes that Bouchard, Wiemeyer, and Kling were able to provide you? They were on the floor the entire night.
Yeah, we're not very deep. So, it's nice to be able to. Foul trouble is what I thought was going to kind of get us at first, but they stayed with it, and they're becoming more conditioned from where we were 3 weeks ago, so that helped out a lot too.
Thanks, Coach Mondello. Congrats on your first win of the season.
Thank you.
Or second win of the season, first as the acting coach. And we're joined by our highlight house player of the game, senior forward, Rosalind Wiemeyer. Rosalind, you were in for the entire game tonight. Was it worth it knowing that you had the lead the entire game? Was that able to keep you going, even though you might have been a little bit tired?
Yeah, I think just always having that lead, going in the game, it brings everybody confidence, keeps the team going. It makes you want it way more.
Yeah, so you and Haley Bouchard, as well as Taylor Kling, in the entire game, not able to sub out, providing valuable minutes. And then for you, specifically on the offensive end, as well as Ava Whittle, providing those offensive rebounds, giving your team a second chance on those offensive possessions. Was that sort of something you emphasized here tonight?
Personally, I always emphasize getting offensive and defensive rebounds, preventing their second chances and gaining ours. It's mostly the way teams score against each other unless it's just a good shot. So those are really crucial on the offensive and defensive side, getting the rebounds.
It seemed like that 3-2 zone was working a lot for you in the second half. Is that something that you guys emphasis in practice, or do you prefer playing it yourself compared to man defense?
It depends. We knew Denmark had a few good shooters, and one of their shooters was obviously pretty hot tonight, but we did that all last year, and man, it really just depends on the team we're playing.
Gotcha. Well, you finished with 14 points, just the 2 fouls, providing your team some valuable minutes. That's all for our interview, but the last thing we're going to have you do is you're going to take the mic, say, "I'm Rosalind Wiemeyer, and I'm in the house." Oh, just push that up there. Sorry. There you go.
Okay.
Just hold it right there.
Okay. I'm Rosalind Wiemeyer, and I'm in the house.
Thank you, Rosalind. And that'll do it here from Waupaca. Our final score, leading scorers, Haley Bouchard with 17, Rosalind Wiemeyer with 14, Josie Nickel with 11, able to stay in the game with those 4 fouls, and Ava Whittle with 7. On the other side, Kiara Mikolajczyk with 18, Allie Van Vonderen with 6, Paige Selner finished with 12 for Denmark. So 2-4 now, Waupaca on the year, 1-2 in conference. And like Coach Mondello said, they've got 3 days off before 3 games next week, and then Christmas break. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. On the production side, Gus Olson, and I'm Gunnar Sippert. So long.